Place, $1 million lifestyle, safe and secure, 2 or 3 bedrooms, heated pool, amazing location, perfect.
Yeah, it does. Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm going now, but I jumped out of bed to ring you.
Well, that was very kind of you.
He killed his children before taking his own life. Jacinda Ardern believes the criticisms of police could be...
Take care. See you later. Bill, how are you doing? Bill, are you there?
Bill, wrong having to top my mortgages up. I've got a portfolio now that is positively geared, and that was just through learning a few things through the course. Now my properties are
just before the song. All those years ago, just before the start of the song, went #1 this day back in 1972. 7 weeks it's been at US #1. Let's get back into the talk back. And Penny, good morning. How are you?
Oh, good morning.
Oh, I thought you'd fallen asleep during the long song.
Oh, no, I love that song. No,
good stuff.
I really do.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm good. What's on your mind?
I'm so happy to be out of the silly season, honestly. You know, you're talking about some of the behaviour downtown. I think it's less silly season, more of a stupid season, honestly.
Well, is it just the time of year, or is it? I don't think it's just the time of year.
No, we are coming out of it, but around New Year's and that sort of thing, I think there's still some hangers on, you know, still rattling around the place.
All right, but don't you think it's the wider problems we have with booze culture or binge drinking culture?
Yes. Honestly, 3 years ago, if you would have asked me, I would have said to you that I've got 3 children. But you know, and nowadays, if you would have asked me, I would have told you that I'm actually a mother of 2 after the things I've put up with my oldest son, and that's all got to do with his consumption and use of cannabis and marijuana. Honestly, it's a health destroyer, and it's not only cannabis, it's, you know, the alcohol, the sweets, RTDs, and the, you know, energy shots that they're buying at dairies.
So how old's your son? Don't disown your son. Don't ever disown your son. But what's the situation?
I know, it sounds horrible, it sounds brutal, but I've just been through hell and back, honestly, being dragged kicking and screaming. You know, and my two other sons, they're all right, but you know, one's 14, and he's, you know, I'm starting to see some changes in him. There's only so much you can do as a mother.
Well, so how old's the one who's in real trouble?
Oh, he's almost 30 now.
Right. And when did he start getting into trouble? You said it was quite recent.
It's recently it's escalated a lot lately, but it was in these mid-teens that it all started up, you know. And I'm seeing that with my middle son Toby now. You know, he comes home and his eyes are, you know, something's up. I know something's up, and you know, to go against the you know, what they say about the effects of marijuana, he doesn't want to eat his tea, and I know it's because he's been filling up on that garbage in town. You know, he's been eating that sushi and sashimi and all.
No, if he's eating the sushi, that's
Korean pancakes and all that.
Okay, well the sushi's fine. The sushi's not bad for you, but no, if he's.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, the sushi's all right. But if it's what's causing him to have the munchies is what's concerning you. What do you think you're going to do?
Well, honestly, I've tried so many things, and I think that at some point you just have to throw in the towel. I mean, you know, he's been through so many phases. This is my middle child, and I just don't know what it's going to be next. He could scare me tomorrow. He could come home and be wearing a face full of white makeup and be worshipping, you know, Marilyn Manson or whoever these, you know, these role models that they've got on TV. And I've removed the TV from the house now, and it's still a struggle to pull him off the internet. He's plugged into that thing like some sort of cyber junkie, you know?
Yeah, but see, I was thinking, it's funny you mentioned about Marilyn Manson, because Marilyn Manson is not popular now, so no one's listening to him, so you've got nothing to worry about in terms of it being him. But in the 90s, there was a more sinister side to music, and at the less sinister end, it was just an over-testosterone period of music, I believe. And that more so at any time since the late 70s, there was this idiotic notion that if you were listening to anything short of really hard rock, that somehow your masculinity was called into question. So these days... Nowadays it's over-sexualised. You know, you've got your Miley Cyrus on the TV all over, spilling herself across the stage like some sort of whore, you know. And so what do you do, Penny? What's your job?
I'm unemployed. I'm retired now.
And whereabouts in the country are you from?
I'm from Auckland.
Right, okay. And you're calling from Auckland at the moment?
Yes, right,
Yeah. Well, it's not easy, obviously, and I'm sure there are lots of parents in your position. I appreciate your call. Thank you for that. But just... I know Pam and I talk a lot about alcohol. She will be 5 years sober this year when that happens, which is fantastic. And it's interesting because for her, she says that there were people close to her who said, look, I can't be around you anymore. And